Hey Skate World, Skate Hooligan here, and we're throwing all caution to the wind. We're doing something a little bit different. First of all, I'm using a different camera. Second of all, I'm using a different audio system, trying to just kind of switch things up a little bit to give you some different perspectives. So normally I'm in the studio. Today I'm actually outside riding. Normally when I'm riding, I'm using the 360 camera, but today I'm using the iPhone 13 to just kind of give you a different perspective and a different set of recording quality. So throwing a little caution to the wind. But here's the reason why I really want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about the Ownboard Zeus, the original Ownboard Zeus. Now I told you a while back that I was going to do a review at 500 miles. Sorry, I missed it. We're now at over 800 miles on this board. As a matter of fact, we are currently at 824 miles. So let's talk a little bit about this board. First of all, stability. That's probably the big thing that I love about this board is the stability. It's a traditional kingpin board, so it's, I love double kingpin boards. I have several of them. I love them for carving and stuff like that, but I really love the stability of this board. I'm able to do 25, 30, 35 miles an hour on this board and really feel as though I'm not going to get speed wobbles or anything like that. The bushings are holding up great. The pivot cups are holding up great. They are still the originals. I did not switch them out because I kind of wanted to see what quality did these guys put into these boards. So I haven't switched out to any riptides or anything like that. They are still the original pivot cups and the original bushings. And this board, after 800 miles, is still rock solid. Love the board. Now, here's probably the extremely big reason why I love this board. Number one, I love to ride. I'll go out and I will spend an entire afternoon on the board just because I love to ride. Get some really nice cars going by here, so we're gonna let them go because there's no way I can keep up with the Camaro, even though I'd like to try. But anyway, the battery. Let's talk about the battery of the Ownboard Zeus. Now, when I first started reporting and when I did my first review of this board, I was telling you that I was getting around 35 miles per charge on the board. The other day, after about probably 790 miles, I took the board out, did a ride. Now, when I got back, or as I was going through, I actually got the first 25% buzz on the remote. I had one bar on the remote. I got home, decided, let's put the board away. I don't like to run the batteries all the way down, just kind of hard on them. So I took it in, put it on the charger, went upstairs, and I started keeping track of my mileage just to kind of see, how many miles am I doing in a day. When I put the mileage in on the Zeus, I was at 34.9 miles on that particular ride. Now I could have easily got the other 0.1 miles, so I could have easily hit the 35 miles, but I got 35 miles. Now, keep in mind, this board is over a year old. It has over 800 miles on it, numerous charges on the battery, and this rider is now at about 195 pounds. That's not too bad. That battery is holding up great. So, stability, battery, two great things that I love about this board. Now let's talk a little bit about the deck. The deck is a carbon fiber deck. It is holding up very well. It's got a few scratches, rocks hit it, or maybe I hit it with a curb or something like that. But overall, the deck is not showing any stress fractures. It's not showing any major blemishes or anything like that, other than, like I said, the scratches that I'm putting on it. Let's talk a little bit about the let's talk a little bit about the foam and the grip tape that's on it. The foam is holding up very well. I have not had to replace any of the foam. I've not had to reposition any of the foam, nothing like that. The grip tape is starting to show a little bit of wear, but somehow I'm thinking after 800 miles, the grip tape's gonna start to show some wear. So I'm pretty soon probably at the end of this season, I'll have to remove some of it and replace it with the Mob M80 that I use on the other boards. So the grip tape and the foam, doing really well. Let's move down to the trucks. The trucks are great. I love these forged trucks. Not having any issues. They are holding up great. No stress fractures, no breakages, nothing like that. Just hanging in there like they're designed to do. Now the bearings and the wheels, let's talk a little bit about the bearings and the wheels. As you know, I run the Cloud wheels. Today I happen to be running the Zoo Bombs, the 111 Zoo Bombs, just because I'm trying to mess around a little bit with the street tires. I got someone behind me. Let's see if we can get a shot of him. Hopefully you can see him back there. But I do have the Zoo Bombs on today. I'm kind of really liking these Zoo Bombs. I'm liking these street tires. I still love the Cloud wheels, but I'm kind of liking these street tires. I don't know, it just gives it a mean look. I do replace all my original bearings with the Black Mambas. Those are the ones that I'm getting off eBay. I love those Black Mambas. I need to pick up a few more sets of those just so that I don't run out of them. I always keep a series of those bearings on hand, but it's probably getting time to maybe replenish. So I do replace them. I have not had to replace any of the Black Mambas as of yet, but I will tell you that on this board I have had to replace the hub bearings. I did roach one of them. It was pretty noisy and it was clacking quite a bit. So I went ahead and I replaced that bearing and actually replaced both of them. But somehow again, I'm thinking after 800 miles, you're gonna probably have to do a little bit of repair, and I figure a $2 to $3 bearing repair probably isn't a bad deal. Like I said, I'm running the Zoo Bombs. I do run the Cloud wheels the majority of the time, but as far as wheel wise, this board is able to handle basically any type of wheel that I throw at them. Let's talk a little bit about the brakes. You know, everyone complains about the brakes on the Zeus. You know, they say, they're not that great. They're kind of squashy. You know, just they don't like them. I actually like the brakes. I kind of refer to them as progressive braking. What I mean by that is if I'm doing about 35 miles per hour and I decide that I need to get on the brakes, they don't grab immediately and start, you know, throwing you off the board. I call it progressive braking. So what happens is it starts to slow you down. The slower and slower you get, the more and more it grabs, until when you get down to probably around that 5 to 10 mile per hour, it's starting to really grab and really slow you down. Now you do have to be thinking a little bit ahead of time. You know, you're not going to roll up to a stop sign at 30 miles an hour and decide, 10 feet before the stop sign that you're going to stop. I don't think anyone expects that. But these brakes, even after 800 miles, are still working really well. They're working practically the same as when I first picked up the board. So overall, this board is hanging in there great. 2 seasons, 800 miles, 195-pound rider. I would highly recommend this board. If you're looking for a board that you can go out and you can have some fun on, you can do some long rides, you can do some carving, not worry about breaking down, falling apart, this is a good board for you to consider. I'd still recommend it to you, just as I did from day one. Hopefully you found this video beneficial. Hopefully you'll consider buying this board if you're looking for it, looking for a board. So, Eastgate Hooligan here. Ride hard, carve safe, and have a great day.